Hey internets, it's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and this is our Kids on Bikes RPG. Welcome to Paradise, Michigan. This is our 18th episode, The Raven and the Barn. And we've got something a little different cooked up for tonight. The players here barely know what's happening because I dropped this on them today. But we'll get into that in just a moment and see what happens in this particular episode. And I'll have a little bit more in a few minutes. First off, if you are new here and you're like, what is this Kids on Bikes? You can head over to youtube.com/mini terrain domain to check out our VOD. Our VODs, all of our previous episodes are up there, as well as all of our other games. Speaking of other games, if you like what you see here and you want to see more stuff, you can check us out on Monday nights with Scribes and Scrolls, a Pathfinder 2e adventure that we are up to, I think, like 82, 83 episodes, something like that. We just resumed this past Tuesday our every other Tuesday Sky Metal Iron Gods, DM'd by or game mastered by Vi. Another Pathfinder 2e game, absolutely incredible, completely different vibe. We have a once a month Call of Cthulhu game called Lawlerville. It's part of our Mythos Investigator series. And then of course every Thursday we are here. And you can catch all of us on different channels at different times doing different things. I've put everybody's links to their socials in the YouTube information bar. If you look up in the upper right hand corner, you will notice that there are some red, white, and blue popsicles. Those are our terrain treats domain pops. Those are +1 to fun. They are a way that you, the audience, can have an impact on the game simply by tipping $5, cheering 500 bits, or subscribing, resubscribing, gifting subs. All that stuff earns domain pops for the players that they can in turn use. They can spend them as adversity tokens to gain a plus for every pop they spend in particular roles, or they can spend 5 of those pops to make themselves or any other player roll on the D100 Mystery Grab Bag, which has all kinds of stuff going. And for you players, I will say that table is on the table for tonight. It's still relevant if you choose to exercise that. Let's see, 1, 2, 3 things, I guess, that I want to say. 3 more things. One is our good friend Dwight, our own big bearded nerd, has joined Pavlov across America this summer and is riding 1,000 miles on his bicycle and raising money to help fight childhood cancer. He's riding in honor of his father-in-law, Mark. If you want to learn more about that and donate directly to Dwight's personal fundraiser for this, it's on the link that is in the chat there. It is a direct link to the Pavlov donation page, and keep an eye on Mini Terrain Domain and Pavlov for something nifty coming in the future. We'll have more information on that when I'm able to share that.
Hey!
Sorry, just making an adjustment.
My favorite thing.
So that was one of the 3 things. The second of the 3 things is just to let everybody know, the audience know, that we, as players of this game, have established lines and veils with one another, and we have a safety tool system in place so that we are protecting ourselves as some of these storylines can get intense. I'm expecting some aspects of tonight's session to get particularly intense, and I will give a content warning that what is happening tonight will involve characters engaging in elements of bullying and things like that. So be aware of that. There's also some chances, as always with these games, for violence and death and dying, those kind of things. So I just want you all to be aware of that, but especially be aware that we as players are protecting ourselves. And if that is something that content is something you don't want to watch, feel free to tune into another stream or go do something else. We will not be offended. And the final thing is, before every game, we like to remind you all that you matter. Your presence on this earth makes a difference. Whether you believe it or not, it's true. We all struggle for different reasons. It doesn't matter what the reason is, but you can know that 1, it is okay to not be okay. It is okay to struggle. But 2, you do not have to struggle alone. We want you to know that there is help out there. And if you're not sure where to turn, in our chat or at the bottom of our stream window here, you'll see the information. But in our chat, you can type !help, as Jeremy has just done, and you will see a couple URLs, findahelpline.com, or you can check out takethis.org's growing list of resources. We encourage you to visit those sites, bookmark them, save them for yourself, save them for a friend, and remember, you matter. And with that, I would like to welcome you to Paradise, Michigan. And it is... I had this all set and then I had to move for the things, so... It is 1950 something. And our characters will all be playing, or rather our players, will all be playing different characters. I only told them this today. So, some of these characters, the players will definitely recognize at least a couple of these characters as having appeared in 1980 something. Whatever information they provide about these characters, I guess I'll just talk directly to you. Whatever information you provide about these characters, and the events that happen in Paradise, Michigan in 1950 something, you are establishing canon. So know that. Because of the short notice, I don't expect you to have all of your strengths and flaws and the contents of your backpack completely figured out. We'll kind of roll with that on the fly. But I have given you all certain pieces of information. And I'm going to have each of you introduce your characters. And I think, actually... everybody except Carrie, I told you where you live, just so you have a location in town. Now that we know who you're playing, Carrie, you live in a very large, distinct house at the end of Harmony Lane, known as the Stapler House.
I'll be damned. Why would
So,
you call it that?
As we settle into the picturesque town of Paradise, Michigan in 1950 something, it surprisingly looks a lot like the town that we saw in the 1980s, except some of the business names are slightly different. The people are different in some cases, younger, or just different people there, and there's a lot of 30, 40, and 50-year-old cars that are parked along the streets and in driveways, but the Lake Michigan Lakeshore is the same, and many of the buildings are the same. In fact, from what you all as players know about Paradise, Michigan, about the only main thing that's different is between Twilight Grove and where you start to head towards town, there's that whole area of new construction. That is all fields. That's farmland right now. But Twilight Grove exists exactly how you remember it, as far as the circular green space and the houses all around it, all of that kind of stuff. And many of the other landmarks, as they may become relevant, exist. It is summertime, and we're going to dive in on this group sort of in media res. We see sort of this high angle shot of a pickup truck driving down a dirt road, kicking up a plume of dust into the air. There's a couple people that are sitting in the cab of the truck, and there are some people that are sitting in the bed of the truck. But right now, we're going to take a look at the driver of this truck. Chad, tell us who you're playing. Give us a little bit of a description of your character.
Okay, just off of what I've got to go off of, Travis Duffy is this like stereotypical meathead. He's about probably 5'10", 5'11". I envision him looking very similar to like Fulton Reed from like the Mighty Ducks, one of the Bash Bros, just like full on, like he's got like the long hair, but it's slicked back like 1950s slicked back and gelled, right? And then he's got like a really nice not like a Leatherman's jacket, because his Leatherman's jacket is with his girlfriend, but he's got right now like a really nice black leather jacket and just the stereotypical white V-neck shirt, and he's got like some shades, and he's just driving. The caddy is like a teal green with that like white pinstripe that goes across the sides, and he's probably got some high walls on the back bed because he knows he carries people in it. So he's got some of those like batten board high walls across the back sides just to carry people inside it. And he's driving down, and I imagine that inside the cab would be definitely his little brother, if his little brother's with him. So because he wouldn't want to put his little brother in the back of the cab.
Next to you in the cab of the truck, and this just worked out. I did not plan this, but the top row of the overlay is the cab of the truck, because I had them randomly choose their characters. Tamiko, tell us who you are playing and why you're sitting so close to Chuck. Or sorry, not Chuck, Travis.
Well, I'm sitting close to Travis because he and I have been going steady for a month now. I am playing Daphne Monroe. She is a very small teenager. She's probably only like 4'10". She's petite, she's stacked, which makes her very popular. And if that wasn't enough to make her very popular with people and the boys, she also comes from as Jake likes to put it, she lives on Stone Hill. Her family is generationally wealthy. Currently, they are enjoying the windfall of media money from the 1920s.
Nice.
So she is sitting there in a Letterman's jacket that is 3 sizes too big for her. She's got the sleeves bunched up, and she has a compact out, and she's working on freshening up her face powder, probably snuggling into Travis because he's probably got his arm on the seat around her. So, when are you gonna get me a promise ring? You know, Steven gave Midge one the other day, and it's to die for.
Babe, I'm gonna get around to it. Don't worry. Like it's gonna happen. So you're the one. I know. Like, listen, I know. I don't give me that pouty face.
If you don't give me a promise ring, it basically says that you don't want to be with me forever.
Look, okay, don't do that to me, okay? I've got.
I'm just teasing you, she says as she flips her red ponytail at him.
As you flip your red ponytail, it kind of flies off to the side and smacks Chad in the face. Sitting in the passenger seat of the truck.
I love all of this.
Is a much younger boy. Em, tell us who you are playing.
If the door to the truck wasn't there, Chad would have fallen out of it. He is that pressed up against the door of the truck. His feet are up in like this like defensive ball as much as he can, being, I would think he's, as opposed to Travis, he is very small for a 12-year-old and kind of scrawny. And so his feet are up and he has this book clutched in his hand open. You see at the front this strange looking plant, alien, and the day of the Triffids scrawled across the top. And he has these like very circular very circular glasses that he peers up from as Daphne has put her hair flicked back, and he just glowers at Daphne and is like, "Your hair smells like grasshoppers." As he like goes back to his book.
How dare you? Don't let your brother talk to me like that. My hair does not smell like grasshoppers.
Hey, Snotweed. Hey, why don't you just stop it right now? I could literally pull this truck over right now, okay? I know Dad would have a fit if I let you out. I get it. But you know what? I don't care. Right now, you're being a little twerp. Especially in front of my girl right now.
Why you gotta be like that? I dare you. You wouldn't. His dad would get mad.
Shut up. I wouldn't.
Yeah. That's right. And I could tell Dad that you snuck out last night with, and he like looks over at Daphne.
You wouldn't.
He like
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not that kind of girl.
As Daphne says that, the camera pulls back through the open sliding window on the back of the truck into the bed of the truck, where there are 3 more people. Jeremy, tell us who you are playing, that is, and what they're doing currently riding in the back of this truck.
So I think, yeah, okay. So the bed of the truck, or the tailgate of the truck, is actually down, and we find Chuckles sitting on the tailgate, kind of dragging his feet through the dust. He's wearing, the Chuck Taylors, and he's got his jeans with the cuffs kind of rolled up. He's also wearing kind of just a plain white V-neck shirt, where it's very obvious he's got like the sleeves rolled up, and in one side he's got the smokes that he's got kind of, that he's carrying. He also has his hair kind of slicked back, and it's kind of this dirty blonde, also kind of done up in a ducktail. He's got kind of a smattering of freckles across his face. He's not really what you would call either scrawny or brawny. He's kind of very average height and build. And he's kind of sitting there with a toothpick in his mouth, just kind of just watching things go by, and he kind of turns and looks in the direction that they're headed, and he hops up very quickly and runs over to kind of the corner of the bed of the pickup truck and picks up a wooden baseball bat, and he leans over the side of the truck and hits the fender real hard with his hand to indicate that there's a mailbox coming up, and he starts to wind up for it.
Oh my god.
Dude, so Travis sees this, right? First of all, there's a bit of him that's like, did you use the bat or you used your hand, right? You used your hand, or you used the bat
hand to hit the
fender?
truck.
Hand to hit the
Yeah.
truck, okay. Because, like, okay, so he hears that, and he sees that mailbox, and he knows he's like, hey, babe, watch this. He like switches the stick shift, and it's just revving, and he's gonna try to slide the car into where you can get into position to just wail on that mailbox.
And with that, we lost Carrie.
Yep. I saw her freeze, and your cursor was like right in the middle of her face.
was
She did say
weird.
that she was having some electrical
Yeah.
bullshit. While Carrie's dealing with her electrical bullshit. I'm kidding. I'm no good at this.
No, you can absolutely do that because I gotta
Check
say,
us
I
out on
don't know when she's gonna be
spring.com.
back. Oh no. They cut her power.
What?
That's bullshit.
Oh my god.
Okay, so I am going to bring up a placeholder while we just see if Carrie can get this workaround or something. I should probably bring up there so I can see that. Let me do this. This and this. And then okay, that'll hold us for now while we see if Carrie can get a resolution. Yeah, so Jeremy, I would like hold on one second. I would like you to roll a it's going to be a fight check as you take a swing at this bat or at this thing.
Let's see. That's a 3 total.
Okay. You wind up. Travis brings the truck alongside, perfectly in line. And you swing that bat into that mailbox. Describe the sensation when you realize that Old Man Johnson filled his mailbox with cement. Because this is not the first time you've hit Johnson's mailbox.
Not at all. Not at all. So first of all, it's a wooden bat, so I'm sure that the bat just absolutely shatters. But there's also
hold
this.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I imagine the bat absolutely shatters. But there's also, an extreme impact that kind of resonates up the core of the bat and into his hands. And he drops it kind of, shit. The kind of tingling in the hands that comes from that kind of impact. And then I'm sure the other people in the back start laughing at this turn of events. And so he can't help himself. When they start laughing, he starts laughing as well. And Chuckles has this horrendous laugh. He's like,
And as Chuckles is laughing his horrendous laugh, we pan over to another young teen sitting in the back of the truck. Ted, tell us who we see.
So Ace is probably the tallest of the lot here. Long and lanky. He laughs, but probably not as much as everybody else. He's just kind of sitting back, just chill. His head is kind of more draped outside the back of the trailer. His thick hair that's probably greased back a little bit like the others, but it's full and whatnot, and it's just blowing in the breeze, and he's just having a grand old time.
Does Ace have any particular reaction to Chuckles' misfortune with the bat?
So he snickers, he laughs, but you'll notice that there is no movement to see, when the reverb happens from the impact. He doesn't move a muscle to try and stop Chuckles from falling off the back, even though he was probably close enough that he could have, but there was certainly no motivation to be like, should I help my friend? Nice.
All right. There we go. So we pan over from Ace to the last person standing in the back of this truck. Carrie.
Yeah.
Tell us who we see and what you're playing.
Well, Darla is sitting in the back of this bed of this truck, and she is wearing a very, very slick back ponytail. And she kind of just looks disgusted with this whole motley crew surrounding her. And she is reading a magazine, kind of having a little bit of trouble because the wind, obviously, from the truck moving is making it a little hard to hold the pages down. And as she can kind of see in the bed of the cab of the truck, she can see that everybody in there is kind of bickering and fighting, and she just rolls her eyes and tries to go back to her magazine.
As soon as Chuckles had hit the mailbox, Chad yells, he's like, "That's illegal, I'm telling."
It's illegal, I'm telling.
Oh my God. Do you realize, Chad, how much of an absolute buzzkill you are, my guy? Do you even understand?
When Chad looks in the mirror or in the window in the back of the truck the next time, there's Chuckles' ham pressed right up against the glass.
Chad lets out this very high-pitched squeal and almost dives into Daphne, which I'm sure creates this domino effect and
What?
swerves the truck
Oh
a
my
little bit.
God! Put that away.
Travis, I need you to make a flight check as Daphne is pressed into you and see how well you handle the truck.
Okay. Flight check. Mic check. Here we go. Flight check is a D8. New character. Who this?
Jake gives us a vehicle. We're immediately going to crash it into a tree and need to go back to bikes.
That's a
Yep.
6 on the die, my friend. It's a 6 on the die. I'm on a D8, so not bad.
All right, so the truck fishtails a little bit on this dirt road. Darla, Ace, and Chuckles get sort of tossed around the back. In fact, with Chuckles, with you pressing your ham up against the window, there's this skin on glass.
Oh my god!
As you slide over, and unfortunately, the pants down Chuckles falls into Ace's lap.
Incredible.
I imagine this is not the first time that something like this has happened. So like I just kind of shove him away as he comes flying in at me.
And he's still just dying laughing, trying to pull his pants back up as he's kind of rolling around in the bed of this truck now.
And as
Oh, you're muted.
Sorry, you see, you see Chad's face is crimson red, with like, when like a kid gets really angry and they get like the little tears in their eyes and their face is all red like a cherry, and he has that as he like gets back into his little ball position again in the truck.
So, I gotta ask because we weren't given a whole lot of information on these characters. It says like I'm used to hanging around this group. Is Chad like normally a hanger on, or is like this the first time that Chad is kind of involved in this?
Chad is kind of a fixture with this group because Travis has... It's one of those situations where Travis was basically told by his dad every night, Chad better come home alive. I mean, that's the extent of the instructions. And not basically alive and not too banged up. And so Chad is a fixture with your group. You know that he's going to be there.
I think that in that moment, after the fishtail's done, Travis just like reaches a hand back through the glass window. Chuckles, what the fuck, man? Don't put your ass on my glass, man. What the fuck?
Oh my god, you boys are so immature.
Like it's the first time that you've ever had a glass, like an ass pressed against that?
I'm so sorry, babe. I didn't know he was gonna do that.
I'm so sorry, babe.
Such an asshole! Shut up!
You would see over, if you look over just for a second at Darla, you would see that she is no longer looking at you over the top of her magazine. She's looking at you through the middle of her magazine because in all of the ruckus, it has ripped in half. And she looks terrifyingly pissed at everybody involved in this situation.
And
immediately
this is a good place to point out, in your little gang here, Darla is your gang's leader. You go where Darla says you're gonna go, you do what Darla says you're gonna do. And it's just always been that way. Also,
and she would just kind of like you would see the magazine shut like elevator doors, and then she closes it as though it is still one piece, and she just like puts it down, and she just kind of goes like, "Are we there yet?"
Speaking of "Are we there yet?" Darla. So I did give each of you just a little bit of a piece of motivation. And Darla, I gave you sort of the hook. Darla, where in Paradise have you instructed your little gang to go? And what is your plan for the day?
So my hook, I guess, wasn't it kind of to go harass the summer camp kids? Like the kids who come to Paradise for the summer? Weren't we just going to kind of go give them hell? So
it is, even in the 1950s, it is commonplace for kids to come to town, and They come to visit their grandparents in Twilight Grove. And your group has, for the past few summers, taken it upon themselves to bully everybody, to varying degrees. And I'm realizing now Carrie might not be hearing any of this.
Yeah, she looked really intense.
But I think
it's
she's
because she
transitioning because it looked like her power came on. See, this is one of those weird situations because Carrie's the one that always vamps when we have technical difficulties or we're waiting. So what do we do when Carrie's not here? Let me bring up this. Feel free.
Oh, I know. You could do a brief plug for the game that's happening tomorrow that I just found out about.
Jeremy, go ahead and plug tomorrow's game.
Yeah. So tomorrow we are going to play some Fiasco on the channel. We're doing just the setup tomorrow. So we're going to sit down and establish the relationships between all the characters and what all the characters are going to be, and all that kind of stuff. And then we're going to play the actual first session at a later date. But yeah, it's going to be Clue themed, and I'm really, really excited. I think it's going to be a blast.
The last time Jeremy did a Clue game, it was bananas. It was like one of the best things I've ever watched, and I can't wait to see what you do with it in Fiasco.
Thank you.
Dude,
I appreciate it.
Wasn't that Clue game the one where you physically sent us like dossiers?
Yeah.
Yep. Because
I wasn't even in
it.
that game. I was in the
still have it.
audience, and I was like, "What is happening?"
I still have
Don't
it.
expect that this time around.
Oh
that didn't happen
man,
for
this.
I just wanted like something sent from you in the mail. That's literally all I wanted.
Well, if I had known that, Chad.
I'm looking forward to it because I've only once ever played Fiasco.
Why did you give Carrie the D?
Yes, because
I just needed to get the window up. So
the window up.
while we're waiting for Carrie, who has said she's working on it, feel free to continue to RP. You know that you're heading somewhere in town for your favorite summer activity of harassing the tourist kids. So feel free to continue with the RP as you're heading there.
I think
We get ice cream.
I think once Darla has made it like obvious that she has displeasure, I think that Chuck's tune like changes immediately, like at the drop of a hat. Immediately he like turns towards Travis, and he's like, "Yeah, Travis, are we there yet? Weren't we there yet?"
He's just like mouthing it through the glass, like, you know, I don't know. I'm so sorry that I'm so sorry that, you know, I failed to do my job. But we're almost there. Yeah, it's gonna be fine.
It's like the homecoming game. That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
So getting back, because I don't know what all Carrie heard when the
Well, listen, I go with the flow, baby.
So you all are heading somewhere in town for your favorite summertime activity of harassing the summer kids who come to town to stay at Twilight Grove. However,
Fuck 'em.
this isn't the first day. You guys like to slowly ramp it up. You don't want to just go in on day one and scare every kid in town. But Darla,
Yeah.
this summer there is a pretty teen girl with looks and brains
I
that
know.
when you saw her arrive in Twilight Grove and you first saw her in Paradise, you marked her. So what is your plan for your gang today?
Today, I want to go to the beach where this girl probably is with her little stupid group of friends. And I would like to go and I know that there's an area of the beach right now that is infested with fire ants. And I want to
either convince them to set up over. Yeah, I want to convince them to set up right there because that's like the prime real estate on the beach. At least that's what we'll tell them.
So we see this teal pickup truck loaded up with these 6 kids come pulling into the Paradise Beach. There's not a conventional parking lot. There's a little bit of like asphalt that sort of runs into the sand. No lines. People just sort of park along the edges here. And you see a few other cars that are there. There's a few families actually. Most people walk to the beach from town. So there are quite a few people that are out at the beach, families, individuals. And as you all pull up, even as you're pulling up and scanning the beach, Darla, you see sitting by herself, just sitting on a towel with a wide brimmed hat, big white sunglasses, and reading what looks to be some kind of a textbook. You see this girl that you marked. Now, you haven't yet talked to her.
Okay. I would kind of smile over at probably Ace. And I would kind of smile over at him, and you would see that this is the smile of just like a Cheshire cat. There is nothing genuine about this. And she would say, let's go introduce ourselves. And Darla would stand up and leave her destroyed magazine in the bed of the truck and hop down out of the truck and go over to introduce herself.
And I imagine we hear the twin sounds of the slamming doors as everybody else gets out. This is the classic bully in the gang scenario of Darla leads, the rest of you follow. As you are heading towards the beach. And you just walk straight up to her?
You know
I
the
would go
old
up
Looney
and
Tune cartoon
Oh,
where
yeah.
it's like the big dog and the little dog?
Yes.
Yep.
Like,
I'm the little
Chuckles
dog.
is the little dog right behind Darla's heel. Like, he's
Right.
like chittering and laughing and like moving from side to side. Yeah.
I would go up to this girl and I'd be like, hey.
You see, as soon as you say something to her, you see her, without looking up, she goes like this. And then she kind of goes like this, and then she places a bookmark in her spot in this book, closes the lid, which you see it says something about, the only word that stands out on it is astrophysics. And she closes it and sets it down next to her, and then kind of looks up. Even though she has got this hat and glasses, she's kind of looking up at you. Oh, hi.
Hi. My name's Darla. What's your name?
She kind of looks around
I'm sorry,
you
I'm
at all
sorry,
the
I'm
other
sorry, I'm
kids.
sorry. Introductions. I didn't mean to bring the whole posse today. I'm Darla. This is Travis and his girlfriend Daphne and his little brother Chad. And this is Ace and Chuckles, and they're with me. What's your name?
Oh, my name's Ashley Raven. I'm just in town visiting my grandparents for the summer.
Ah, believe it or not, a lot of people come here over the summer, and they all seem to have grandparents here. Who'da thunk?
It's a really lovely coastline, and
Oh,
the lake just looks amazing, and it's a nice small town you have here. I'm not surprised. This girl, by the way, has long black hair pulled back. She is 15 years old. And in the spirit of the game, I will tell you that her trope is brilliant mathlete.
Oh my god.
And-
And she's hot?
And she's hot.
Unacceptable.
And she is, yeah, she's just, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, yeah, she looks at all of
focused.
you. Sorry, I feel very weird saying a 15-year-old is hot. I think that's what threw me off.
Sorry. I forgot. In our regular campaign, she's a woman. Okay, so, yeah, go ahead, Chad. Em, were you going to say something? Or was that Miko?
This is so
That was me.
confusing. Why did I name him Chad?
It's fine.
So Daphne's already pegged that this outsider is attractive also, and that'll never do. She's what is it? She's got Travis's jacket kind of hanging off of her shoulders because it's hot and sunny. And she has wrapped a arm around Travis's waist, very, very protectively, and she's standing up a little straighter, like sticking the goodies out a little more. She's like, "Oh, are you having fun? Are you studying?"
Daphne, you absolutely notice that her swimsuit, her sunglasses, her hat, they're all the latest fashion.
Ah,
Sorry, what did you ask her?
you
Are
having
you
fun
studying?
studying?
I wouldn't say studying. It's just a little light summer reading. Just catching up on some things I'm interested in before I go into... Well, I'm going into my senior year after the summer. I skipped a couple grades.
We can't have that while you're here. You have to have fun while you're here. That's what this place is all about. We don't have this great beach for nothing.
Yes. In fact, my family owns from there, and she would point at like a stake in part of the sand and say to there. And there's like a buoy just off the beach. Like, so I know the whole beach, and we were just gonna hang out if you wanted to, hang out with us.
I would like Darla and Daphne to make charm checks.
While they're
And
rolling, I think that there's like a shot where it's in, if Chad and Ted are okay with this, where it's just like Chuck, Ace, and Travis are like standing there, like huddled close together, staring and somewhat dumbfounded. Teenage boys and an attractive new girl in town in a bathing suit, no less.
Oh my god, the
Yeah,
new girl.
exactly.
I think in like the confidence of a young 12-year-old, Chad just walks right up to her and is like, "I like your book.
More game
believe
than
in
your
aliens?
brother. Damn it.
Okay, so Jake, I took a thing that's called skilled at, and it was a little vague on what that meant. So I wrote down deception. Would that apply here?
sorry, you took a thing called what? Oh, skilled at.
Skilled at blank.
Yeah, that'll work. Skilled at deception. I like it.
Cool. Cool. All right. So that's a 5. So I don't know what this means. It says 9 if the, what is it? If the
If it's a more
check
difficult
is 9
check,
or
you get a
less.
+3. But so I want whatever you rolled and whatever Darla rolled, you're automatically going to add a +3 to those rolls anyway, because you have the whole group of you there.
so like another +3.
Well, it's not high enough that you would get that automatic +3.
Oh.
So it's just +3 for. So you would have an 8. And you
7.
would have a 7. Ashley kind of looks at all of you and looks over and says, I was kind of thinking I was just going to spend my whole summer getting a tan here on the beach while catching up on reading, but I didn't realize there were so many local kids here, and you guys all seem friendly, so... Yeah, if you don't mind having a tourist hang out with you guys, I'd love to.
Oh no, not at all. Chuck like elbows Travis, and he runs over and like picks up her basket, whatever like she's got with her.
And I'll get your towel. And I would grab the towel that she's been sitting on as she gets up.
Oh, well,
Trust me, this
thank
is
you.
going to be the absolute ultimate.
Oh my god.
so, as you guys are walking to wherever you're leading her, Darla, what do you guys do for fun around here besides the beach?
Well, there's the malt shop. There's cruising. Is the highway 21, Jake?
22.
There's cruising the 22 in the evenings.
They think it's a fun idea to hit mailboxes, but I told them that it was illegal.
She doesn't comment on that. She's just kind of smiling and nodding.
I mean, we don't hit mailboxes like every night, but like, it's just a thing to do when you're bored, I guess.
But we do spend a lot of time down here on the beach.
Yeah, of course we do.
And I'm actually going to, as you guys are walking, you're walking, I am going to try to find this book.
While Jake is looking for the book, check us out on teespring.com. At teespring.com, we have all kinds of new designs, including ones for your D&D or Pathfinder campaigns with all the character classes. We have our classic Paradise logo and so much more. You can get it on tanks, sweatshirts, hoodies, and all kinds of stuff. Teespring.com. Just search Mini Terrain Domain.
So on a D8, I exploded, rolled a 9. As you guys are all walking, Ashley definitely notices that Travis, Ace, and Chuckles, who did you say, Jeremy? It was
Yeah,
Travis, Ace, and Chuckles.
Ace and Chuck. Yeah,
Okay.
as long as they're okay with it. Yeah.
And she's definitely noticed you guys are looking at her, and in just a moment where Daphne happens to be looking somewhere else, she just kind of does this over her sunglasses and just gives you a quick up and down, Travis. And then kind of smiles and turns to following.
That was Tamiko's indignance, not Daphne's. She doesn't know.
She's definitely noticed you guys watching her. She has checked out Travis. And as she's walking in front of the couple others of you, she's definitely exaggerating her feminine walk a bit, shall we say.
Oh my god, what a bet. Okay.
So,
I
we're-
felt
pulled the
bad for a
comb out from
second.
the back
I felt
of his
bad for a
pocket.
second.
And he's redoing his hair.
Immediate same. He's like, so how long do you think you're gonna, I don't know, how long do you think you're gonna be hanging around here or something,
I mean, like I said, I'm here for the summer. Staying with my grandparents over in Twilight Grove. Well, I guess it depends on how today goes. You guys might convince me to stick around for a while.
Cool,
And
cool,
that's
cool.
what we want to do for sure. And Darla would like floof up her towel as they get to the spot. And so maybe a little sand goes everywhere. Maybe it'll get in her eyes. We don't know. She goes like woof. And then she would like let it kind of parachute down right onto the top of that fucking fire ant sandhill thing.
And she kind of, but doesn't say anything. And as you sort of lay it out nice and neat, she's like, "Oh well, thank you. You all don't really look like you're dressed like you planned for a day at the beach.
Had we planned in advance to go to the beach? Or
It sounds like it. So yeah, it sounds like it. Darla was planning to come this way, so you muted.
She goes, sweetheart, we just got here, laughs, and tosses the jacket over to Travis and starts unbuttoning the little crop top shirt she has that's tied in the front to reveal a halter top bikini.
Darla is wearing something fairly similar. She had like a tank top on and shorts, and she just like takes the tank top off and the shorts off, and she is also wearing a bikini.
Oh.
This is cool. This is cool. Got this, Travis. Got this. Figure your shit out, bro. Figure your shit out. Okay.
Oh, babe, there's a beach ball in my bag if you want to grab it and blow it up for us.
Oh, of course. I'll go do that. I'll be back.
Thank you, Poochie. You're the best.
Oh my god.
As you run, kind of sort of jog away towards the truck to get Daphne's bag, Ashley just does a quick look over the glasses. You see that, Daphne? It's just like a quick like.
She immediately plasters a nice warm smile on her face.
Darla is proud of you.
As the towel is laid out all nice and neat, and Ashley sits down in the middle of the towel, I would like everybody to roll a grit check, please.
Grit. Ooh.
I exploded and got a 5.
I got a 19.
My grit's pretty low.
I exploded and got a 14.
I also exploded and got a 9.
Oh,
I also exploded and got a 13.
Oh my god!
Okay, then I
We
guess
are
I
gonna
gotta
destroy her.
Grit.
And what
Okay.
did you get, Darla?
Oh, sorry, I got a 19. I did not explode, but my D20 is my grit. So
I am thoroughly flustered. I have a D10 for grit. I got a 3. So Travis is
You
That-
can always hold the coat in front of your crotch, Moondoggy. You're worried
Well,
about it.
so here's why I had you roll. I just have to consult my narrative chart here. So it looks like Chuckles and Daphne and Travis all failed. Daphne, let's see. What did you get, Chad? Real Chad?
I got a 3.
Oh, okay.
Travis got a 3.
So that would be. Oh, that's not great.
I'm-
that's not great.
So,
I have a dowering rod.
as you
right
all
now.
settle in, and Darla, you are just waiting for the now upset fire ants to work their to do what nature does. Daphne, you start feeling stinging and biting at your feet and up your legs.
And so it starts out like it starts out, right? With the she kind of like brushes her leg with one of her feet and then just keeps doing that, and then finally she's like and then she's bending over and like brushing her legs. I assume that I can see the fire ants starting to swarm up.
So at the same time as Travis is coming back, as soon as you get close to this group, Travis, and you stand up next to Daphne, you start doing the same thing, that momentary, just like something's uncomfortable. And same for Chuckles, it's not as bad. You're just getting bit a couple times. Travis and Daphne, your feet and ankles are virtually covered with fire
Oh
ants.
my God.
As
And
they
like,
seem
run
to
the
be
lake,
just
run the
coming
lake.
up out of the sand, and they are moving their way up your legs.
Daphne shrieks and takes off towards the water.
Oh, Daphne is very excited for the lake. It's great today, and there's no rip current.
Just
And
full.
it's been so
blown.
hot. It's gonna be like bath water.
He went to go to the cab to get the beach ball. Travis immediate 3-point turn, charging back, high kneeing it up to the water, and just baseball slide into the water, putting the feet in first, get him off.
Oh my God, there's so many of them. Oh, I'm assuming the water helped.
Yeah.
That they're not mutant fire ants or anything
No,
like that.
as soon as you start taking off, and as the two of them take off, Ashley looks over at you, Daphne. I would like you to make a charm check. As you say that about how excited they are to get to the water, and this is going to be a contested charm roll.
Who'd you want the roll by?
What did I say?
Daphne.
Darla. That's what I meant.
Okay.
Did you do it to yourself again?
Oh, is it Darla? It's Darla.
I gave one of
You're
you the
looking for
name of a
Darla.
player, and I gave two of you D names.
I was getting
Wait,
ready to
are they
roll.
dwarves?
Like, how convincing are you that you're having a good time? Crying, thumbs up from the water.
Which explains why Carrie's not there, because I said Daphne and not Darla. Chuckles, what are you doing as... and Ace, what are you doing as this is happening to all of them?
So Ace kicked his shoes off. He's not super thrilled of let's go get in the water. His role here at this group is a little bit of instigator with Chuckles and observer. So he's waiting to see what kind of chaos can happen. He doesn't want to interrupt, Darla's, little prank here. So he's not egging, Chuckles on at the moment. So he's kind of just all right, well, if Darla put the thing there must be certain radius. So he kind of stepped off, and he's I don't know if there's a tree or a grass, but he just kind of hunkers down, kind of just watching the group to try and see, what's going to be there, what's going to be the next, funny thing to laugh at.
And somewhere in the midst of this, Ashley would have pulled her book out of her bag and would have leaned over to you, Chad, and just said, "You can take a look at it if you want."
You see Chad just...
It's kind of more like a college level book, but
You see Chad grin as he looks at the book, and he's begins flipping through it. I don't think he would he's looking at the pictures and diagrams and figures and charts as he's going through it. He's like, wow, you're super smart.
thank you.
And he's looking, and there was he's like, did you know that I'm trying to pull a fact out of my ass right now, and I can't. my degree is failing me. Did you know that if you you can fit all of the planets in our entire solar system into the sun?
Impressive, but wouldn't they all just burn up then? And she kind of gives you a little bit of a smile.
He pauses, thinking about this very seriously for a second, and he nods. Yeah, yeah. No, I think that's true. I think you're right.
Darla.
What do you think is in the sun? He says.
Oh, and
Vision.
for a moment, the two of you engage in a little bit of nerdy astronomy talk. Darla, I misspoke before you took off. You were supposed to be running rolling the charm check, not Daphne.
Oh, well, then let
that
me
was
do
on
that.
me, not on you.
That's okay. Wow, I exploded. 8.
So as you said that about them being excited to go in the water, she just seems to just take that as fact. But you also notice that none of the fire ants accosted her. Like, there is zero sign of fire ants around her towel or her.
What? Looks like we're gonna have to play this slow game. So today might just be a fun day with this new girl, whose name I have already forgotten.
You or your character?
Both.
Ashley Raven.
Ashley. Got it.
You know,
Okay.
thinking of this, Darla, and thinking of some of the ways, what you know about this town and the various things, you know that there is a place outside of town, just outside of town, that the local legends since you've grown up, have always told you to stay away from the Sheckler's barn that is out north of where Twilight Grove is. It's out a long dirt road. This was the kind of story that you all in your age, you know, it's probably just made up stories. But you grew up hearing these stories, rumors. These are the kind of things where throughout school people are like, especially if when you go back to school and somebody moved away. Oh man, I heard that Thompson kid, I heard he was killed at the Sheckler's barn and that they buried him in the floorboards. Or there's just all these rumors. Everybody's heard somebody, or everybody's known of somebody, or know somebody who knew somebody that saw something or did something in there. This is the kind of thing. Plus, it's outside of town. No witnesses kind of thing. You know that this is a great place to ramp things up, as it were.
You know, Ashley, are we still standing together-ish?
Yeah, this is... You guys are kind of spending some time on the beach. I imagine you were sort of formulating a plan for a little bit. Like I said, Ashley and Chad have been talking physics, astronomy and physics and things like that.
And so eventually, Darla would say, you know, Ashley, one other thing that we do for fun sometimes. I don't know how much, like, local history you're aware of. I don't know how long you've been here or what you've heard.
I'm from the East Coast. This is my first time in Michigan. I don't really know anything about the town.
Yeah. Well, between you and me, there is a haunted barn just outside of town. It's right over by Twilight Grove while you'll be staying with your grandparents. And we could go and see what's up, but we can only go after dark.
I'm going to ask you something, and I apologize if I hope it doesn't offend you. But
Probably will.
Is this I mean, if we're going out to some barn after dark, is there going to be beer?
It depends. Do you want there to be beer?
Well, that's why I was asking.
There can most definitely be.
Kind of looking, I don't know. You just seem like the kind of kids that could probably score some beer. So,
Well, you would be right about that. We can definitely get some beer.
you guys know that Ace is your ace when it comes to scoring the beer.
Mm-hmm. I would point over at Ace. Is Ace still standing nearby, or did he kind of go into the water a little bit?
He's like lounging off to the side, like a little bit disappointed at the moment that Ashley hasn't been accosted by insects, but he's chilling and waiting for the next opportunity for something to happen. So like when you kind of like nod off in his direction, he kind of like springs up and he's not super graceful, so I imagine like there's a momentarily slip of him just trying to like get to his feet. His long gangly limbs don't do exactly what he wants them to, but
Without even asking, Darla reaches into Ace's pocket, pulls out his wallet, and whips out his fake ID and shows it to Ashley. Be like, we can get beer.
Impressive. So, sounds like we've got some plans for tonight.
And I would stuff his ID back, put it in his wallet, and kind of toss it in the air. We've done this before.
And at this point, Daphne and Travis, you've alleviated yourself of the pain of the fire ants.
Oh my gosh, babe! I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I should have checked the sand beforehand. I'm so sorry. That was on me, man.
Travis, nobody blames you.
It's for Daphne's sake, okay? Like
My legs. There's probably like little red bumps on her legs now.
From the shin to your feet is covered in fire ant bites.
It looks like Chad's face.
Just full on. Damn it, Jeremy.
Oh my god, my legs! I can't go out like this.
No,
I'm wearing the pedal pushers.
It's
so
fine.
I have to change. I have to go home and change into long pants. Travis.
I understand. I know. Okay, that's what we'll do. We'll focus on that. But hold on. And he'll like scoop you up and then like carry you. Like, sorry, Darla. I gotta take her. For just a second. I'll be right back. Okay. It's an emergency. And
you're ditching us for her?
No,
you're gonna leave us stranded here?
No.
Like,
she's holding on to him and looking at you guys like this.
Babe, oh fuck, babe. They're right though. They're right. Can we get like? Can we just like get you to the car? Can we just get you to the car? Can we just get you to the car? I'll get you an ice cream. Chad was saying earlier how you wanted ice cream. I'll go to the
ice cream.
I'll go get you ice cream. Okay, you can sit in the car. We can figure out a plan for tonight. Everything will be cool. Okay, everything.
You're
will
gonna
be cool.
leave me?
No. You're just gonna sit in the car. I'm not gonna leave you. Okay.
Oh my god, they're sick.
That's fine. Go get the ice cream. That'll help.
Okay. What flavor do you want?
Chuck is making vomiting noises.
Okay. Absolutely. Strawberry. It's your favorite. Okay. I know.
I know you do.
Okay.
Smooches.
Smooches to you too. Okay.
Hey,
I would
Chuck
look at
starts making
Ashley and in a
smooches at
moment.
Ace.
In a moment of genuine like camaraderie, I look over at Ashley and I go.
Ashley kind of smiles at you and then looks at Travis, and she suddenly hops up to her feet, kind of wipes off the sand off her legs, and says, I could go for some ice cream too. Do you mind if I ride along? And she just walks right up to you and starts walking alongside you, Travis.
Of totally. That.
Travis.
She just, babe. She just asked him to come along. Like, I'm not saying like, it's just ice cream. It's just ice cream. It's not like
You're right. It's just ice cream. You can go.
Don't worry. I'll keep an eye on him for you.
It's just ice cream, and I'm gonna take Chad. Okay, I'm gonna take Chad. I'm not gonna leave him alone with you guys. Okay. Look, if it makes you feel better, I'll take Chad. Okay, he can keep an eye on me. Everything will be cool. Okay. He looks down at Chad. Listen here, you little ankle biter. Okay, listen here. Don't fuck this up for me. Okay, don't fuck this up for me. Whatever happens at the ice cream shop, you won't say shit. Do you understand?
Chad looks so confused at Travis, like, but he knows like Travis does shit, so he doesn't really have to understand exactly. So he's like, 2 scoops.
Okay, fine, whatever. However many scoops you fucking want, man. I don't care. Please, okay? Jesus.
Daphne, Ace, Chuckles, and Darla, roll grit, please.
Awesome. Can do.
Super.
I'm sorry.
Love all these grit rolls. Daphne huffs and pulls a cigarette out of her bag. Like, oh, it's a 3.
I got a 14.
5. 7.
Daphne, or no, Darla. Damn it.
You did this to yourself.
Yep. Darla, you notice that as they're walking away, that the moment that Travis says, "Hey, I'll bring Chad along. He'll keep an eye on things." You see Ashley just sort of like a scowl crosses her face for a moment, like she's disappointed that there's a third wheel with them as they head off. But
Chad's in the way.
You
man.
see Chad, Travis, and Ashley walking away towards the truck, leaving the 3 of you on the beach, and that's where we're going to take our break.
Oh boy. Woo!
All right,
This is fantastic.
we are going to take a short break, and we will see you all on the other side. Please stick around. And we're back. We are going to fast forward to later that night. But before we do, I want to primarily give Travis and Chad an opportunity to tell us what happened when they went with Ashley to the ice cream shop to get ice cream and pick up whatever Daphne wanted you to pick up. And then we're going to, following that, we're going to see what Ace experienced securing beer for you all. So, what happened at the ice cream shop?
I think
I have
that
my thoughts, but you go
that
ahead.
day, I'm just gonna say that I think Chad got 3 scoops of ice cream that afternoon.
Oh,
He did.
'Cause you were playing the 2, and then as
He
soon as
did.
you
Oh,
did,
my
like,
word.
I think I want one more.
I mean, you could almost, like, if this was a TV show and we were coming from where we left off and coming to the next shot, and we see Chad walking up with 3 scoops, that's all the information we need.
show don't tell.
But in this case, I will give real Chad an opportunity to say what happened.
So, Travis is talking to the parlor clerk, and I imagine also because it's summer, it's probably also another attractive girl behind the counter, and he's
Roll a D100.
roll a D100. Okay, legit. I'm happy about that. Let's do this. Let's see. No way. Okay, 91.
I rolled a 1. You are 90 away from what I rolled. Even on a
Okay.
rollover, though, Oh, that does put you within 10%.
Sure does.
I was gonna say there's a 20% chance that it was going to be this other attractive girl. If you were outside of it, it was going to be somebody that you bullied in school. So you're lucky. Continue.
Congratulations.
It's got to be who he was dating before Daphne.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, yeah.
My God.
Canon.
Yes.
Canon.
Yes. Who is it? Who is it, Chad?
Jenny.
Yeah. Oh, fucking Jenny. Fucking. What?
Hey, Jenny.
What? Oh,
She's
Chad,
she's standing there
don't
just
touch
chomping her gum.
don't
Hey,
draw
Chad.
attention.
Hi,
Okay.
Travis.
Hi, Jenny.
Travis.
Uh,
What happened to Daphne? Is this your new girlfriend? And she just
No.
kind of looking Ashley up and down.
I mean, no, but we're Chad
just-
wanted ice cream.
Are you
Chad
just
wanted ice
planning to move through all the fudgies? That's a. For those that didn't
Fudgies.
catch it, in Michigan,
fudgies.
I don't know if it was
The
the case back
fudgies?
then, but fudgies are tourists that come to Michigan for the fudge.
No way. Okay, that's so
Specifically.
freaking great. I did not know that little snidbit. Okay.
I saw the word, but it was not explained to me, so thank
Okay.
you for doing that, Jake.
Are you just planning to move through all of the fudgies this summer?
I mean, Jenny, she's not a fudgy. Leave me alone. She's not a fudgy, okay?
She,
She's
you feel a hand, one on your shoulder and one on your forearm, as Ashley presses into you and says, "Travis, what's a fudgy?"
it's a term. God, it's a term that us locals use for God, a girl that's only going to be staying for the summer.
Oh,
But like, I don't think that's gonna be you, okay? I don't think that's gonna legit be you. Like, you're not gonna be that, are you? Like, you're planning on like
Well-
staying after summer, maybe?
I guess we'll just have to see. Jenny,
Okay.
was it? I'll have some of this Mackinac Island fudge. Just
Oh,
one
that's a
scoop,
great-
please.
It's a great flavor. It's a great flavor. Yeah.
Jenny looks at you, Chad. What flavor is it going to be today, Chad? And she kind of does that side
Imagine-
eye up and down at Travis
This
and
is a-
Ashley and goes, "And how many scoops, Chad?"
How many?
He's like grinning. This is great for Chad.
And I think that's the point where later when you,
Ever.
we see
Best
Chad
day
walking
ever.
out of the shop with 3 scoops and Travis. Travis,
Yeah.
I need you to roll a what have you roll a charm check, I think.
Okay, charm check. Yeah, I suck at charm. What? Let's see. Let's go. I have a D6 for charm. Let's see if it explodes.
You better hope it explodes.
I hope so too, man. Oh, it does. Yeah. Let's see. I got an 11. Yeah.
That's pretty freaking good, dude.
Later that
I'm
night,
happy
you will
with
be
that.
explaining to Daphne why, when you returned, you forgot her ice cream.
Oh shit. No. Can I say that I didn't forget it, but in the flirtation at the thing, I spilled it, but outside of the ice cream shop. So now I'm so embarrassed. It's all over my shirt, and I can't go back into Jenny and be like, "Oh no, I got to get another scoop." Right? I can't go back in. So I have a Red Wings jersey in the back of the truck bed. So I'm gonna put that on, and it's a Gordie Howe.
Oh, I'm so proud of you,
It's
Chad.
a Gordie Howe like Red Wings jersey.
So he comes
Ugh.
back wearing different clothes.
I come back wearing different clothes. Like, hey, how the fuck are you in that? Why are you in that? What happened?
So
that made you change clothes?
I love
You're
your
a dead
commitment to
man.
your
I'm a
characters,
dead-
but clearly none of you know how to dress in Michigan in the summer.
I don't.
Heavy
Um,
jackets.
Listen,
big
I'm an ice hockey
jerseys.
player.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm an ice hockey
don't know,
player. I
man.
have no idea how to.
Michigan was a little bit more mild in the 50s in the summer before global
Probably.
warming.
Yeah.
Ace, where do you go to get your
So-
beer?
So I don't know what the typical, convenience store, watering hole where that, would typically be able to be procured. But I would say that, a lot of times, like summer, like younger kids, are looking for jobs, and Ace is, pretty slick when it comes to, the ins and the outs around getting around town. I mean, in some degrees, he's a treasure hunter, and sometimes, acquiring the right thing is what Ace is known for being able to do. So he's got the 411 on who's where.
Your dude, even though it's Michigan, this guy works at the local tavern. It is called Wayne's Old Time Tavern. This kid works in as a busboy and dishwasher. His name is Skidmark. And even though it's Michigan, he fancies himself a California surfer. And so when you show up, he's got this really long straight hair. And when you show up, he comes out back and lights up a cigarette. And he's like, "Yo, Ace, what's up, man?"
Hey, I want to know if you could give me the hookup again.
"Oh, brother, you know I got that." I don't know if they talked like that back then. I like to think Skidmark was a trailblazer.
Yes, he was.
Obviously. Right there in the name.
I have no idea, what a 24 pack or what have you would cost, but I slip him some greens and
All right, it's the right amount of green, dude. That's gonna do it. Just give me a minute. And he hands you his cigarette, and he runs inside real quick, and you hear a little bit of a clattering, and then he comes running out with a box that has it's a cardboard box, and it's got like lettuce and onion and potato peelings and stuff on top of it, but you can see that there's a plastic bag or paper bags covering over top of it, and he hands you this box of what looks like vegetable garbage and goes, "Have fun tonight, man."
I shake his hand, give him a high five, whatever it is this guy's jam, and then I get around
like-
the corner as to where that.
I like to imagine you two have a secret handshake. I feel like there might be.
Yeah, it's very much like a
handshake.
that ends with this like through. All right, brother. And you do walk away with a 24 pack of Schlitz.
Oh yeah.
I have Travis around the corner, so it's not like something that's like, oh, I'm gonna walk right up and get into a vehicle.
All right. We cut to later that night. We see this old decrepit barn. It looks like it's an abandoned barn. Still has the red paint on it, but it's kind of peeled in places. There's a little bit of overgrowth around it. Or at least, sorry, the barn looks like it was red at one time. It's very faded. And in the headlights of the pickup truck, as you all pull up into this space, you see on the where the front of the barn doors are, you see these green barn doors with a brass chain that's hanging across the front of them. At this point, as you all show up and you've got Ashley with you, you are free to tell any stories or legends about Sheckler's barn that you wish.
So
Hang on a second, Jake. She's with
does
us?
Ashley ride?
Like,
Oh yeah, Travis, you were asked by Ashley to come pick her up in Twilight Grove.
Yep. Hey guys, like, what's up? She's gonna hang with us. As if that's not a big deal, is it? I mean, shouldn't be.
I don't have any problem with it at all.
Everyone's
She's gonna
so-
ride in the back though, right?
Yeah, babe. Of course, she's gonna ride. Why would she?
Because
not?
I'll be riding in the front with you, right,
Why
Moondoggy?
would? Yeah, babe. Absolutely.
Chad,
Uh-huh.
no, fake
Other
Chad,
Chad.
fake Chad,
Fake Chad.
Fake Chad.
fake Chad. I would like
Chad?
you to roll an opposed charm check, please.
Oh. All right.
I exploded.
In my
Oh,
family,
that-
there are
great.
two of the same name, and we call them Read the Boy and Read the Man.
Did you say?
Chad, you're
Did you say
Chad the
3?
boy.
5.
5. Okay, I exploded. Got a 10. What did Ashley tell you to convince you to sit in the back of the truck?
Ooh. I think that. Oh, it has to be maybe like the newest edition of some magazine that she got from, like, you know, one of her.
High Life.
But it's like
Isaac-
one of those, like, just like.
Isaac Asimov's
Discovery or, like-
anthology. Isaac Asimov's sci-fi anthology.
Yeah, something like that. It's like, yeah.
So, Daphne, as you are sort of having this conversation with Travis, you hear the door open, and as the door closes, you hear, "Oh my gosh, I just love this blouse or shirt or whatever you're wearing." In fact, she says that, "Oh, I just love this blouse or shirt
Oh,
or
I know.
whatever
Isn't
this
it
is you're
great?
wearing."
It was so expensive.
So it was probably a quite uncomfortable ride as the three of you show
Real
up here.
quick, the camera shot is going like through the cab, and every so often you just see evil ass looking eyes like peek into the cab from the bed of the truck. And
Oh, I
Like
can't
every-
believe it's so cramped in here. Oh, my elbow just went right into your ribs. Oh,
Like every street light that's passed is just like Darla, just like glaring.
I imagine that while while there was the trip to the ice cream, there was some, you know, kind of plotting and scheming between, shall we say, the bottom row. I don't know
Yes.
how much Daphne wants
I-
to get
oh,
in
yeah.
on that.
100%.
I would like to know what your plans were. What were
I
you
wanna
plotting
leave
to
her
do out here?
I want to shut her in, bang on the side, scare the shit out of her, and leave her there.
I can't believe she's trying to edge in on my man. The nerve. And she's pulled a cigarette out. She turns. I'm sorry, Ace, do you have a light?
So he reaches into his back pocket and total like grease style, like flicks it off his jeans.
Wow, you're so cool.
Awesome.
So One of the things that I wrote down for the things that are in Chuck's backpack is a magazine of pinups.
Oh my god.
I think
Yep.
that there is a pinup that he is convinced is actually Ashley Raven. And he is trying to get anybody in the group that he can to look and see if he's mistaken or not.
That's not her, Chuck.
Look, like the gams are exactly the same.
What the hell do you know about her gams?
Oh, Ashley's
He
wearing
was looking pretty
white
hard
hot
at the games
pants.
earlier.
Well, listen, there's a lot of girls with good looks.
But
There's plenty of girls with good looks, Chuck, and Darla would stick a leg out and frickin' like put it like on display. You're like,
Well, yeah. I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right.
you're an
Like,
asshole.
fold it up and put the. What?
So we need to get her back is what we need to do. I think at some point we should all leave the barn and lock her in.
Yeah. Oh, are you in the cab with her?
What?
No,
I think this is
while
while we're at the
conversation had to
beach.
be
This is this is sort of
oh,
like a
I
flashback.
apologize.
So,
I would
is there-
I would sidle up next to Daphne and be like, "That's a brilliant idea. I love it."
Is there anything that we could get and leave there so that we would be able to I don't know, use it to set up some kind of prank?
So lots of people are supposed to have been murdered at the old Spectre place, right? So what why don't if we go to the butcher shop and we get some pig's blood or something?
Yes.
We can
yes.
splash it all over the walls and stuff.
Ew.
And really scare the shit out of her,
That's a great idea. That's a great
We're
idea.
gonna do that. I mean, we could just dump it on you, you slip off, pour it on yourself and come out after.
That sounds
Chuck's eyes get
gross
huge.
and sticky, and I think it's fantastic.
That sounds fucking amazing.
And then when it's all done and she's just scared shitless, I say we leave her. Drive off. Chuck, we can meet you around the bend. You know where we pick you up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Darla has that terrifying smile again.
I'm not even going to make you roll for this one. I think you guys being locals, I just imagine this brief cutscene of Chuck going out behind the butcher shop and just getting a hold of anything that's thrown in the special dumpster. And this is the 50s, so people didn't care as much about proper disposal of things. So there's probably
A lot of buckets
literally
of blood around.
buckets of blood.
A lot of
sitting
buckets
there.
of blood.
So
Buckets of
you
blood.
are able to secure, we'll say one of those metal pails of filled with blood and various viscera, if that's what you would like to do.
Absolutely. Viscera is
Yes.
helpful.
Yes. 1 bucket of viscera, 1 bucket of blood, please.
All right. So we arrive at the barn, and the truck stops and everybody starts to get out. And as she steps out, Ashley kind of looks around and kind of looks towards about a mile and a half towards the southwest. And there's just the faintest glow of some of the streetlights of the town. Huh, it's weird. We're not that far out of town, but it kind of feels like we're in the middle of nowhere. What's the deal with this barn anyway?
It's haunted. Well,
Tons of murders up here. Lots of people buried underneath the ground under the barn here.
that's what they say. I mean,
Yeah.
I knew that kid, Jimmy. He was in our class, and he just, boop, vanished. Last seen at the barn. That's what they say.
The Thompson twins said that they were, coming out here the other night, and I haven't been seen since.
Sometimes you can see like fresh little patches of dirt that have been like turned up, freshly dug.
Some people say there's an axe murderer that lives up in the loft.
We got a little bit of a tradition for our ice hockey team that you got to come up here and try to stay inside the barn for like 5 minutes or so, and if you can stay in there for 5 minutes without screaming your head off, you earn people's respect or some
Travis
nonsense.
made it 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
I made it a
Did he
full
made it
5
7
minutes. I made a full 5 minutes, Darla. Don't you lie.
I think it's aliens.
Ashley kind of gives a little bit of like a interesting, like she seems kind of like doing the little like kind of shiver at everybody's stories, but when you say aliens, she kind of is like that's something she can wrap her head around. But at the same time, she's looking at Travis and said, "Only 5 minutes locked inside? I would have thought you'd have gone for 7."
Oh my god. Incredible.
He's trying not to turn beet red.
So where's this beer?
I'll pull the tab off of one and begin, start handing them out.
When
Chad will absolutely try to take one. I don't know if Travis will let him have one.
Oh my.
Oh, Ace would hand one to you, no problems. It's up to Chad whether or not, up to Travis as to whether or not, it comes back.
Ace. Fuck, man.
What?
He's fucking 12, bro.
You were drinking at 12?
Oh,
Travis,
Okay.
he'll be
He's old
fine.
enough.
He's not going to have
Yeah.
more than one.
okay.
It's 3-6 beer
it's-
anyway.
but
He'll
it's
be
my-
fine.
But it's my
It'll put
dad,
it on
man.
his chest.
Oh god.
But-
Okay.
Wouldn't you rather he had his first beer with you, his older brother, than out with somebody else?
There's that moment. Where
Chad,
you
is this
say
your
that,
first
Daphne.
beer?
Oh, no, you know what? I feel like if Chad's been like hanging out with this group, I am
These
sure he has
goons.
had something.
These terrible people.
This is the same conversation that happens every single time.
Yeah.
Chad reaches for it, Ace hands it to him.
I
and
go
every
full
single-
like parental mode for a hot 10 seconds, and then they all back me down, and I'm like, okay, fine, whatever.
Or like
Uh,
Ace slips Chad like a beer like after Travis does his huffing.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you know.
He's like, okay, listen, I know you've heard this before, and I know you've heard this 1,000 times. We do not tell Dad, because you know what will happen, okay? I'm gonna have to go out on that ice every night until, like, fucking forever, okay? He's gonna have me on the rink every day until my legs fall apart. If he finds out you drank tonight. So don't do that to me.
I have gum. So when we're done, everybody just pop in a stick of spearmint.
Instant pops in some freaking juicy fruit and just like, whatever.
Ace, when you hand Ashley a beer, she takes it and then reaches out and takes a second one, and as she's downing the first one, and you just see her just and puts the whole can away, tosses the can off to the side, and then just goes just a big loud burp. So let's check out this barn. Chuck, did you come to the barn earlier to check things out or set anything up?
Yeah, definitely. He at least put the pail of blood somewhere where it's kind of out of the way,
You,
inconspicuous.
when you showed up here, you would have had to have stashed it outside somewhere, because the brass chains and lock that are on these green barn doors were locked securely. So you know this as Ashley walks up to the barn and she kind of looks at it and she kind of gives a tug on the chain. She goes, "So are we just supposed to go in?" And when she turns around, you hear the sort of metallic sound of a chain sliding through the handles, and she's holding the chain and lock in her hand, unlocked. Is that the deal? We just go in here, or what?
How did she? Did I miss something?
Chuck nudges Darla.
You just go right in.
Did she just full on David Copperfield that frickin' chain right now?
If I didn't hate her so much, I think I'd love her. Yeah.
As she cracks the second
Ash,
can.
Pick locks.
Yeah, Ash, you just go right in.
Travis, are you coming in too?
I mean, yeah, sure. He'll even go into the back of the cab and to like sell the bit, he'll even go in the back and like grab his hockey stick, like preparing for the potential for violence. He's like, "I got you. It's cool."
Chuck walks in to the barn with the rest of them, and just maybe 3 or 4 feet in, he kind of like holds up his hands. He's like, wait, shh. Does everybody hear that? And he waits until it's absolutely silent, and then he rips a nasty loud fart.
Chuck, you're
And it
such a
reverberates inside of this barn.
Such an asshole.
Delightful.
Anyway, this is it.
She kind of looks around, and inside this barn, there is no hay. There are no signs that any animals have been in here. The barn floor is just dirt. The interior of the barn, along all of the walls, are hanging shovels, pitchforks, scythes, sickles, just all kinds of farm implements, rusted and old, just hanging along the walls in here. And as you walk in, probably from the force of the door opening, you hear just that slight sound of farm tools clattering against the walls, couple like tinkling against each other. There's a large one of those big 2-person saws hanging that just kind of whoa. Does everybody walk into the barn then?
Oh yeah. Darla is drinking faster than she normally would because there's a subconscious urge to try to keep up with Ashley.
Ashley is taking her time with the second beer, and she's just kind of walking along, and she walks over to one of the edges and is just kind of looking at all the farm tools, and she turns around and takes a sip of beer and looks over at you, Darla. So, is it just me, or is it... do you haze other fudgies when they come to town and take them to the scary barn? And
I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, what's the plan, gang? Are you gonna leave me here while you take off down the road? Are you gonna try to beat me up or tie me up? Or she kind of looks at one of the walls that has like 6 different sizes of ball peen hammers on it, and she kind of picks one up. Or maybe you were going to try to kill me.
Darla's face like scrunches in confusion, and she kind of like backs away from this very obvious psycho. And I back up and I get a little closer to Travis. Like, Darla's a little concerned. Like, this escalated quickly. And
Yeah.
she just kind of like squeaks out. She's like, no.
Like, he puts the can down on the ground, and he'll like hold the hockey stick with both hands. He's like, there was, first of all, I was at an ice cream parlor. I have no idea what the plan was. No idea. Nothing happened at the ice cream parlor. But
Come up here all the time. This is like where we hang out, you know? There's nothing like amiss.
Look, there's the beer can right over there. I know for a fact that it was Ace's from the other night.
Yeah, we hang out here all the time. Like, I wouldn't actually. I already told you about Fudgies. Like, I would not lie to you, okay? I would not lie to you right now.
Anyway, why are you
Travis,
being such a bitch?
She walks over, as you're saying this, Darla, she walks over to you, Chad.
Oh no.
And she kind of just puts her hands, or puts one hand, she's kind of standing slightly behind you, and puts one hand on your shoulder as she's looking at Travis. And she says, you like science fiction and all that nerdy stuff, right?
That's like, he's getting a little like freaked out a little bit. He's like, he like nods slowly.
Black holes, wormholes, even
Yeah.
Edgar Rice Burroughs had some interesting theories on how it seemed like magic but was more science when in The Princess of Mars John Carter just looked up and crossed countless light years to end up on another planet. How do you think he was able to come up with something like that? Robert Heinlein, Isaac Asimov. Where do they get their ideas? Chad?
Chad like shrugs and he's like, science, I guess.
Have any of you ever heard of something called ley lines?
I haven't understood most of what you said over the last like 3 minutes.
From Hawaii?
I'm not any kind of a fucking nerd. I don't really pay attention to any of that stuff, though.
Would Chad
actually-
have heard about that, or is that not in his?
I will say roll a brains check.
Because it's close, but yeah, I'm not sure if it would be in his. Let me pull up.
I don't know when you changed the music, but it's effective.
Like, it went completely silent when she gave a monologue. Like, I was like, what the fuck? What is this?
It's an 18.
Ace
Yes,
Ace is like looking at her.
Yes.
Go ahead, Ace.
Ace is looking at her with just absolute confusion. He hasn't understood a word about who any of these people are, what a ley line is, what any of these science things. Like, he's not bad when it comes to brains, but like he's all of this is well beyond his purview.
Darla, I want you to make a it's going to be opposed, but I want you to make a grit check
Okay.
as you are attempting to make your way to one of the walls. Chad, you have read in theoretical physics books about ley lines. And in the 1950s, this is something that is discussed almost with ridicule, because the theories around ley lines borders on fantasy and magic, with no true scientific basis for it. But you know that the theories around ley lines suggest that there are places where ley lines intersect. They exist as random patterns all throughout the universe, and at places where they intersect, that is theorized that they are places of power.
I think Chad, though, he loves that stuff, and he thinks there's a kernel of truth in like everything that's science fiction fantasy. He thinks that there like could be true, so he kind of perks up. He almost looks like he kind of forgets about this weird ass situation right now. As he like kind of like, he's like, oh, I remember reading something about that. That was they're like places of like power, and I was reading in a book, they were talking about ley lines, and then they were also talking about, and that's how the aliens use that in order to jump from place to place.
You feel a squeeze on your shoulder from her as she kind of gives you this little reassuring pat on the shoulder, and she kind of walks around and she takes the hammer and just very lightly boops you on the nose with it and goes,
"Oh God.
You started off strong, Chad. And then you just started sprinkling bullshit in there.
Darla, wait a minute. That's my little brother, dude.
Darla,
Yeah.
as you move towards one of the walls, you see Ashley look over at you. And in that moment, the barn doors go and slam shut. How do you all react to that?
Be like, you bitch. What is going on? My daddy is going to sue the shit out of you and your entire family. You'll never be able to get back to the East Coast. You're not even going to be able to get out of Michigan, you bitch.
Daphne's just sitting there looking confused and turns to Chuckles and says, "Did you rig that up?"
No, no.
Chuckles.
This isn't part of the prank?
Chuckles, I want you to make a flight check, please.
Ooh,
Lobotomized, dude. We're gonna fucking get Men in Blacked.
That's a 2, Chief.
Oh shit. We were rolling so big earlier
Daphne.
on. What the fuck's happening?
As you say
We're not
this,
gonna get Men in Black. We're gonna get Among Us.
as you ask Chuckles if he had rigged something up, and knowing what the plan was, you look over as Chuckles, you start saying, "No, man." You look over, and Chuckles is staring at you, and the blood is just running down his face. And then you notice that the scythe that was on one of the walls, the blade has come down through the top of his head, and the curved part of the blade is sticking out from his throat.
Oh my god.
I think the only appropriate reaction to that is,
Scream so loud it breaks the sound barrier.
yep, which is essentially what happened.
As Daphne screams, what are the rest of you doing?
I'm not even fucking around anymore. I'm grabbing a shovel. I don't care who sees me. I'm gonna beat this bitch to death.
Ace runs.
Yeah, I got my hockey stick, and I'm like, "You were so cool. Why'd you have to fuck it up?
You're so hot. How are you so evil?
You're so hot. You gotta let my little
Ace
brother
is-
go."
I don't know if there's a if. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think all Daphne's doing is screaming and then eventually catching Chuckles' body, which is probably falling into her. Like,
By the way,
I have a question.
Jeremy, I would like you to roll a flight check.
What's your
And
question,
then,
Em?
what's your question?
Okay.
Adversity tokens are the pops, right? They can
Yep.
be used.
Yep.
I would like to spend 2 to use my unassuming trait.
Hide.
Chad is gonna
Hide.
try and hide. Like he's like I can spend 2 adversity tokens to not be seen within reason. So he's going to try and take all of this like chaos. He wants to find somewhere to just like hide.
Hide in
Are
the
you
haystack.
spending 2 of your own adversity tokens then?
No,
Or the
I don't have any.
community pops?
Yeah, pop.
Oh yeah, you
pops.
asked
Yeah,
about the
yeah.
pops. Burp.
Yeah.
I knew that. Let me make an adjustment real quick. So from 36 to 34. So there's a moment where Ashley removes her hand from your shoulder, and that's your moment. And you just slip into the shadows. Whoops, I'm hitting the wrong button. Sorry about that.
That's fine. I love that.
And you are basically watching everything unfold. Jeremy, what did you get on your flight
A
check?
6.
Okay. There is a moment
My God.
where Daphne is screaming that you look at Daphne, not sure what she's screaming at.
Oh.
And then you glance over and you are standing next to your own self and you see the scythe piercing your head with the tip coming out from under your neck. You see yourself supernaturally murdered in this barn.
I think there's like he like starts to like like nervously laugh as he's like backing away.
And that nervous laughter, you all hear Chuckles laugh. Even as his body falls to the ground, it sort of seems to be coming from everywhere within the barn. And Chuckles, your laugh is the last thing you hear as you discorporate into the barn, your very essence, your spirit inhabiting the barn.
The last thing he says is, Darla?
Oh shit! Why? Oh,
Darla,
that's why Darla goes for the shovel.
Chuckles'
and doesn't run.
voice saying Darla is something that just lodges itself in your psyche.
Shit. That is why Darla goes for a shovel and doesn't
Ace,
just, like run or hide. Or
well,
manage.
Darla's grabbing a
It's
shovel,
revenge.
Daphne's screaming, Chuckles is dead. Nobody knows where Chad went. What were you doing, Ace?
Ace is gonna rabbit.
Where?
Gonna run. Jump out a window. Try to open the door.
It's a barn. There's no
He's-
windows.
he's
You're
gonna
going
try
for
to
the
get
door?
open then. Yep.
Okay. I'm going to need you to make a brawn check as the doors do not seem to want to open.
That ain't gonna do it. A 3. He's not mighty.
As Ace, you run over to the barn. You're trying to push these doors open. You see through the slats of the barn lights just filling, and you all now see almost like not really a strobe, but you see these stripes of light coming in and sort of creating this unique pattern in this room. And then, Travis, you hear a sound that you know super well.
Oh yeah, the sound of the truck.
As the truck starts up, there's the sound of tires spinning on gravel. as your truck comes crashing through the doors of the barn, shattering the doors, which begin to, several of the boards puncture your body, Ace, as the truck pushes you across the barn into the opposite wall. And I will let you decide if you die immediately or if you linger.
Oh my god.
You just scared Carrie away from the computer.
Not an easy feat.
I think for Ace, the lingering fits the most. You know, dying easy. That's not very fitting for him.
Yeah, this is one of those things where it's like in Signs. There was the scene where somebody was pinned against a tree, and you are going to be fine until the truck is moved.
Man.
So you are seeing, you're in a great deal of pain, although you can't feel anything from the waist down. But you are seeing all of this unfold as it continues to. Darla, you grab something off the wall. What do you grab?
I grabbed this exact shovel.
Holy fuck.
Motherfucker!
You went into your garage and grabbed it. I love you. Oh, that's
Now-
so
Decent sized daddy long legs on here that I just noticed, but we're gonna go with it.
Now this space is illuminated in red from the taillights of the truck.
Oh, sick.
And Ashley's still standing there with the hammer in her hand. And you've now grabbed the shovel.
Yep.
Daphne, what are you doing? Are you still screaming? You've just seen Ace just get obliterated right after you saw Chuck get obliterated. Daphne?
Oh, me. Sorry. I thought you said Ashley. I'm like,
I might have. I
Okay.
always screw up names. You know that.
no, I'm sure it was me. So, what is it? So Daphne is panting now because she had screamed so much, and she's looking at Chuckles lying on the ground, and she looks over and sees the blood starting to pool from over where Ace is pinned, and she just she's gonna flee through the now crushed open barn door.
Oh,
Excellent.
Try.
Go ahead and make a flight check. Travis, what are you doing?
For all I know that Chad is no longer in her grasp, right? But he just watched two of his friends get fucking eviscerated. And somebody moved his truck, which that doesn't happen. Dude's got the keys right now.
Oh
So
yeah,
also
you
his
can
brains get
clearly
out.
see in the lights from the backwash of the lights on the wall that are illuminating the dying Ace. You can see that there is nobody in the truck.
Yeah. So I'm pissed on multiple levels now. And I have Jake, I have a flaw called hot-tempered. And I think at that point, knowing that his brother is possibly in danger, that two of his best friends have now been absolutely wrecked, he's gonna just go full like body check hockey mode into this Ashley. You normally wouldn't do something like that. He's respectful of women, but like fuck this. He's gonna like full on haul off with the hockey stick and just start smacking the beer cans into her, like, you know, like where he's just
like a fucking
Before you
like
do
a
that-
slap shot.
Before
Slap
you do
shot
that, and you absolutely
your
can
games
do
into
that
it.
if
Yeah.
you decide to continue to do that after I tell you what you witness.
Okay, that's cool. After what I witnessed,
In the now wide open doorway of the barn, you see Daphne kind of stumble run the way girls do in the 1950s horror movies. She sort of stumble
My
runs,
ankle.
And as she runs out the door, you see Daphne suddenly stop, and she's in an awkward position as Daphne, as you were running out, literally from the ground, barbed wire, old rusty barbed wire went, came up like Tanglefoot, all coiled and nasty, probably years and years old, comes up out of the ground. Not only does it come up and stop you, it immediately begins wrapping around your arms and your legs, and you watch as Daphne is drawn and quartered in front of you.
Oh my god! Yes! Daphne! Oh,
Rest in peace, Daphne. That was the coolest shit ever!
That's probably the coolest death.
I ask
so
you
far.
again, Travis, what are you doing?
Oh my god.
Nah, dude, you can't fucking scare me. This is some fucking, I know, this is some magic fucking shit. Like, no.
That
I
Schlitz
think-
was laced with something.
I think there's this moment, right, where it's Darla with the shovel, and it's Travis with his fucking hockey stick, and we're like back to back, like looking at her, like, okay, you remember that one summer where we got those fucking kids? They were fucking assholes, man. You remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. This bitch is an asshole right now.
Yeah.
Go. I'm with you to the end, okay?
Okay.
You call run, I run with you. If you want to fucking do something, go. We do it.
As Travis says that, all of a sudden Darla's the moonlight glints just a little bit, and Darla sees the Coke bottle that Chuckles always carried with him, and it just fell out of his bag. And they kind of always had like a little maybe will they won't they relationship, and she would just kind of shake her head and be like, well, I'm not gonna run, especially from this bitch.
Yeah. You fucking killed my girlfriend, bro.
Chad.
And yeah.
Fake Chad.
Fake Chad. Well,
Chad.
which, Lil Chad or Chad the man?
Little Chad.
Little guy.
Little fake Chad.
Chad. Little fake Chad.
Hiding in the shadows, watching all of this. And I imagine you probably, as you're standing there in the shadows, you feel the hot warmth of the spray of blood when Daphne was drawn and quartered. I mean, that blood went everywhere, and you got hit with some of it.
Oh.
As you are standing there, Chad, you see Travis and Darla preparing to square off against Ashley. You see Ashley standing, now walking into and almost blocking one of the taillights of the truck, holding that hammer. But you hear her voice in your ear, right next to you, say, you're going to try as hard as you can, Chad, to forget everything that happened tonight. You're going to try. You may bury some of it. But this is happening. It is really happening. And you, in the very depths of your mind, in the very depths of your heart, you will remember this. But you won't remember me. What do you do in that moment, Chad?
You see like tears streaming down Chad's face, and for an instant he remembers all of the times that Travis protected him from like bullies, from even his own friends, like always sticking up for him, always doing, you know, when it comes down to it, Travis was always there for Chad. And Chad jumps out of the wherever he happens to be hiding and screams, "Travis, run!" as he like tries and runs at Ashley.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh. What a little stud, dude.
I will have you go ahead and make a fight check.
Oh, no.
He's such a baby. He's doomed.
Baby. 7.
Let's see on the narrative results. You succeed, but not impressively. Any benefits you gain above and beyond the success are quite limited, if present at all. So you barely succeed in catching Ashley off guard. What does that look like?
But he does succeed, which
Yep.
is what he wanted to do.
But you have heard of me.
Yes. He wanted to distract Ashley and try and get Travis to run away from this area, because I would also think that his knowledge of ley lines, like this is what, like as long as he stays here, that's going to fuck him up. So he needs Travis to run. So I imagine Chad just runs, and he's smaller than Ashley, much smaller, and he tries to like rush her and tries to not break her knees, but get her to fall, I guess, over.
It'd be called a chop block in wrestling.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
it's a chop block at the knee
A
level.
chop block,
yeah.
You succeed because of the positioning of where she was. You succeed in slamming her against the tailgate of the truck, which sort of does what you wanted, because as Chuckles stated before, the tailgate is down. So she gets clipped kind of at hip level and kind of crumples a little bit, and she drops the hammer. You hear it skitter across the bed of the truck. But as you strike her, Chad, for a moment,
while he's screaming like Travis run, like as he's like trying to like,
and as you hit her, there's a flicker, and you see what looks to be a 40-something-year-old woman. You see Ashley Raven as an adult woman. For just a moment, it's like, and then you see her as her teenage self. I don't want to, Chad. But if I have to, I will literally change the course of time. Get your brother and get out of here. As she's saying this to you, she's not moving her mouth. You're hearing this in your head.
Okay.
yeah, Chad, he doesn't need to be told twice. He's read enough books. He knows. The one with the telepathy is the most powerful. So he runs away from her and takes Travis's hand and is like trying to pull him. Travis, we gotta go. We gotta get Travis.
Okay. And I imagine. Oh God, there's this moment where I don't want to leave my truck, but I don't want to leave. There's this. I can't. It's
For
the
a
fastest way
second,
to
I
get
thought
away.
you were about to say, I don't want to leave Darla, but
You-
you're saying I don't
As
want to
you're
leave
contemplating your
Got
truck,
it. Okay.
you see Ace dying on the hood of your truck.
Yeah.
You see,
Yeah.
you see Ashley Raven standing at the back of the truck in the taillight, and you see
So, yeah,
Darla
it's smarter
squaring
to
off
leave.
against
It's smarter
her.
to leave. Yeah, it's smarter to leave. And I'm, Darla, come on, let's go. Chad's right. We gotta go. Come on.
As seriously and earnestly as you have ever heard Darla say anything, she just looks at you and says, "Go ahead." And I would put my hand on your chest and I would say, "Take your brother."
You can't be serious right now. I just.
And then she just turns her face over to Ashley and doesn't like even register that you're talking anymore.
Okay. He looks down at Chad. Okay. Let's go. I'll protect you. Okay? You're not gonna get hurt tonight. It's going to be okay. It's gonna be okay.
As the two of you run out of the barn, it is unavoidable for you to cross through the pieces of Daphne.
Pieces.
I'd like to
Tiptoe through the
I'd like to
knees.
echo what
Tiptoe
Craig
through
said
the
in the
knees.
chat. Rest
Yeah.
in pieces.
So,
Don't tell Dad about any of this. Is the highlight of the night.
Darla, you are
Yeah.
squaring off against Ashley Raven.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
As shallow as Darla seems, she does genuinely, like, her family is from here. It's like many generations. She does have like a home in this place, and she would like kind of just stand there and be like, for the record, yes, we do take a lot of kids here for the hazing. And then she would fucking just attack Ashley. She doesn't have the hammer anymore. This is clearly a supernatural bitch, and she wants to do violence.
All right. Roll your fight check. This will be opposed.
Okay. Here I go. Oh, sick. I got a 10. Now that was a 9 plus 1, so it's not an explosion, but...
You have beat my natural 1. Narrative control. The attacker explains their attack, and the defender explains how they respond. You, the attacker, can alter any of these details as the defender explains them. Then the attacker explains how this response fails to prevent harm. So basically, you tell me what you do, I'll counter, and you can tell me why what I'm countering with doesn't work.
So as like, she doesn't have her hammer anymore, right?
Nope.
So honestly, Darla would just come in with the full like momentum of this shovel and gets it in the middle of the stick and just frickin' swings as hard as she can right at this bitch's face.
The initial swing and strike lands. You hit her so hard, she spins a full 360 and falls on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you hear the sound of all of the implements shaking and rattling, and you watch as a pitchfork comes flying at you. How do you avoid getting struck by it?
I pull the shovel up just like
You
that.
hold the shovel up, and this pitchfork goes right through the shovel, and the points are right there, an inch from your eyes.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Now it's Ashley's turn. As she stands up, what you see is Ashley, who is laying flat out, go and stand up. I would like you to roll another fight check, please.
Okay. That one's a 7. Because Darla's a little freaked out by that. Like, I thought that was fucking finish him.
The tailgate of the truck, as Ashley stands up, you hear metal tearing as the tailgate rips away from the truck, and the jagged metal pieces attempt to slide across your body. However, you beat her again. How do you avoid that?
So as the metal chunks of this shit start to, like, I guess, or is it like shards or like 3 big chunks or what?
It's basically, it doesn't look like she ripped it off at the hinges. It's like part of the tailgate was just like tearing a piece of paper, but it's metal. So it's just jagged pieces of metal.
Flying.
Not flying,
okay.
it's literally the tailgate. Like a giant jagged saw moving
Yeah, she made a
past you,
tailgate
attempting
saw.
to cut you.
Oh, I see. I step back a foot. And I avoid it.
And it just goes and kind of slices into the frame of the door.
I laugh at her.
I knew you were going to have spirit and tenacity. Here's the thing, Darla. No matter what happens tonight, nobody's going to believe you. And that's what's going to happen for the rest of your life.
Oh.
Nobody's going to believe you.
I want to rear back and try to hit her again.
I would like you to make one final fight check.
Yep, can do be.
I'm going to roll mine.
3. I'm going to use 2 pops to make it a 5.
I'm going to tell you not to spend those pops.
Okay,
because
don't.
I rolled very much higher than that. As
Oh boy.
for the next few minutes, no matter what you try to do, you see Ashley barely making a motion, and your shovel or whatever you try to hit her with stops. You don't even believe in yourself, Darla. You don't think you can do it.
Fuck you! You are such a bitch!
Here's the thing. You were given a gift in the town of Paradise, Michigan. Your family in particular. You are one of the founders. Your family has been here since the beginning. You don't even realize this. This barn, the ley lines here, nothing compared to the power that is at the nexus of your house. You will never understand that. You will never fully grasp the gift that was given to you, your birthright. You chose to be a stupid kid in all of this. And as she's saying this, you see her flickering, and you see an adult woman wearing clothes that don't make any sense. You've never seen clothing like this. You had so much opportunity. And this, like I said, nobody's gonna believe you, Darla. And out of the corner of your eye, you see as Ace is breathing his last. You see the vines growing out of the ground and wrapping around Ace's body. At the same time, out front, the vines are coming out of the ground. The barbed wire, grabbing the pieces of Daphne and dragging them down into the ground.
Barbed wire.
And Chuckle's body. You hear the sickening wet sound of the scythe coming out of his head. And his body just lying there. As you hear these faint echoes of his laughter, his body, the earth is just seeming to go over. You even see worms and centipedes, and as they grab his body and pull it down into the earth, nobody is ever gonna believe what happened here. Go home, Darla. Go home and think about what has happened here. If you're lucky, one day we'll meet again. And you see this, and Ashley Raven vanishes. You are standing there, Darla, holding your now damaged shovel as the camera pans slowly away. And in this, what's the aftermath of what happened here, and seeing you just standing there, back in 1980 something in Paradise, Michigan, as you all are planning and plotting and figuring out what you're going to do, You're sitting in the pizza shop. You're at Maniac's Pizza. And everybody roll me a brains check real quick.
Six. Oh, Oak is so smart. Yeah.
So Oak and Billy. You don't really think that much about it, but in the decorations that are on the walls of this pizza place, above your booth on the wall, there is a picture hanging, and it is an old black and white photo of it just says, Paradise, Michigan teens enjoying their summer. And you see a pickup truck. And in this pickup truck, we, the audience, see Travis, Chad, Daphne, Chuckles, and Darla. And they all have big smiles on their faces and just look like they're the best of friends enjoying their summer. And then the camera pans down beneath your feet, through the floor, through layers and layers and layers of ground and earth, until we start to see manufactured steel well below the depths of the pizza place. Camera moves through corridors lined with green doors with brass handles and into a laboratory where there is a chair sitting, and we see Dr. Ashley Raven, director of the Nexus Project, looking like sweat pouring down her face. She has some kind of contraption on her head, and a very nervous looking Dr. K, the bearded scientist, is standing there. And she Dr. K's looking at her like not sure what to make of this, and Dr. Ashley Raven has this maniacal look in her eyes. I can't wait till we meet again, Darla. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh my god.
I told you guys it was going to get a little intense.
Yeah, I realized that when the
Amazing.
scythe went through Chuckles' fucking skull.
The giveaway for anybody that was paying attention or taking notes, only 3 of you were named characters from the 1980s.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah,
I
3 of you
figured
were
that
not.
out.
So I apologize for brutally no, what I don't apologize.
Don't apologize.
I brutally
Please
murdered
don't.
you, and
Own your actions.
I'm happy for it. I will say
I'm
now,
proud.
It was glorious.
for us, the audience, it is canon that some essence of Chuck remains forever trapped in the barn. And somewhere underneath is his body or his bones, as well as those of Ace, and weirdly spaced out across the place in front of the barn, there are several bones of a young teenage girl nowhere near each other. And an old rusted pickup truck left behind in the barn. I hope you guys enjoyed this very unique
shit.
diversion.
1000%.
I think I hit on some people's horror vibes. And I apologize for it running long. And I'm not blaming you, Carrie. We had some technical difficulties that slowed us down at the beginning.
No, I apologize.
I wanted...
Totally on me.
I didn't want this to be a railroad. I wanted you to have some chances, and you did get some good licks on her, and you changed some things.
Can she at least have a fucking scar or something? Like,
you'll have to
give
wait.
me that.
You'll have to wait and see.
Oh.
But yeah, this was, I don't know, it was an idea I had to go back. I wanted to see inform a little bit of Darla from the 1950s, as well as from the Phasmatological Society's meeting. We never saw Travis, but Chad was the one with the tinfoil in his hat, who said, "I was just telling my brother the other day." So there you go. Thank you, everybody who tuned in, or if you're watching later on VOD, or if you're lurking in the chat. We appreciate you and hope you enjoyed this strange tale. We'll be back in, modern times for this game, 1980 something, next week when we return. And I just got to say an absolutely huge thank you to these amazing players that let me just literally this afternoon tell them, oh, by the way, here's some characters you guys are going to play, and we're going to do something different. You guys nailed it, knocked it out of the park. I loved seeing what you did with these characters. And who knows? We may visit some other characters at other times in the past, or maybe the future. But seriously, thank you, Chad, Tamiko, Carrie, Ted, Jeremy, and Em, without whom this would just be me talking to myself for a couple hours. With that, we're going to go ahead and end the stream the same way we end every stream, and you can say it with me if you want. Metadad.
Metadad.